Moving to the wrong country is an expensive mistake that can cost you thousands of dollars and a lot of time and hassle. So if you're trying to decide between Spain and France, it's important to know that both of these countries attract fundamentally different people to live there. But this video isn't about which country is better or worse, it's about which country is better for you. I've helped hundreds of people decide where to move around the world, and I'm here to help you too. But before we get started, it's important to answer one simple question. Why is moving to Europe important for you? So take a moment, pause this video, and think about or write down some of the things that you hope to experience while you're there, or some of the goals that you hope to achieve. Perhaps you're looking for a certain cost of living per month, or there's some qualities that you're looking for, like a particular climate or political system, or maybe you see yourself in a certain environment, whether it's a quaint village, a bustling city, or out in nature. Take note of whatever just came up for you right now, because it will completely change the outcome that you have by the end of this video, which leads me to my first point. In your current life and your current location, when and where do you feel the most like you? Think about the last time you felt truly alive. Were you relaxing on a beach, laughing with friends at a dinner table? Were you bar hopping for the best happy hour in town? Or were you losing track of time while people watching in a park, perusing a museum, or shopping in a market? Were you at a party, surrounded by people, or were you alone, journaling at a cafe? The answer is very telling. Spain is loud, present, and communal. Life happens outside, in bars, in plazas, on the street at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. One expat who wrote a detailed guide after 4+ years living across Castellón, Valencia, Madrid, and Seville put it plainly. The bar scene is overwhelming. There are bars that serve food and drinks everywhere. Even the tiniest village in the middle of nowhere has a couple of bars. Social life revolves around them. France is different. It's curated, intellectual, aesthetic. People moving to France like to talk about wine classes, literature, and culture. One person planning their move to Bordeaux described their preparation. The online school I'm with also offers cultural classes with experts, stuff like wine, literature, food, and debate culture. It's been really cool, and I've been meeting a lot of people. Neither is better, but one of them is more you. Keep that in mind as we go. Before we go any further, however, it's important to talk about one thing that often stops people before they even start researching. Can you actually live there? It depends. The path looks different depending on which country you choose, and there's a tax reality to consider as well. Spain gives Americans two real options: the non-lucrative visa for retirees or anyone with passive income or savings. You prove you can support yourself without working locally. The digital nomad visa for remote workers employed by non-Spanish companies. Spain built this specifically for you. France has the long stay visa as the main entry point, which works for both remote workers and retirees, but no dedicated digital nomad visa. The right visa for you depends on how much income you earn per month and the source of that income. There are also many other visas that would take too long to mention here, but scan the QR code on this screen to contact my team for help on which country is right for you. Both countries tax worldwide income, but also have tax treaties with the United States to prevent dual taxation. Imagine you've just landed in your new country. You have your apartment, you're excited. You go to handle your first official task, and something simple, something you do in 20 minutes back home. 3 hours later, you're still waiting. Nobody speaks English. The person at the desk seems annoyed that you exist. You leave with nothing resolved and an appointment scheduled for 6 weeks from now. Welcome to European bureaucracy. Both countries have it, but they have it differently, and knowing the difference could save you months of stress. The first clue is how long it actually takes to get your visa, because it can take twice as long to get your visa for Spain as it does for France. Once you arrive in Spain, you need to register at your local town hall and apply for your foreign ID card. The only problem is that process can take a while. One expat of 4 years in Spain said the following: Appointments can be really, really difficult to come by, often booked out for months in advance. In France, things aren't too much faster. It can take up to a year for an official address change there. And in both cases, the language barrier makes every interaction harder. It's hard to choose a side on this point because both countries are notorious for having a slow and complex bureaucracy, but France is considered to have more structure and a better online integration, while the experience in Spain typically frustrates people, but it's more relaxed overall. Speaking of language, do you need to be fluent in the language before you move to either of these countries? The answer is that it kind of depends on where you go within the country. In Spain, you can survive in English in the larger cities such as Valencia, Madrid, and Barcelona. You'll often hear English spoken in the streets, especially in tourist or international areas, but the moment you step into a government office, a local neighborhood, or a smaller town, Spanish is non-negotiable. The good news is that Spanish is genuinely one of the more forgiving languages to learn in country. Locals are also generally patient with learners. One expat from Serbia described his experience. "I passed B1 level, but I still have somewhat of a problem when speaking with people. I understand what they're saying, but I get anxious about making a mistake when I start talking." I know that for two of my relocation clients, Bob and Daphne, who moved to Valencia, they were really concerned with learning the language, and so they prioritized that by spending their first few months in Spain in language classes. France is a different story. The French have a reputation, sometimes unfair, for being cold toward people who don't speak French, but it's not due to arrogance, it's that language is identity in France. Attempting French, even badly, signals respect. Defaulting to English signals the opposite. If you're committed to learning the language, France could be for you. But if you're hoping to get by with English, Spain might be more your style. I know what you're probably thinking now though, but Kristin, which country costs less? Well, again, the answer is depends, so let's dig into it. Spain wins on daily life, groceries are affordable, public transport is cheap, public health care is free, a cup of coffee is €1 to €1.50 almost anywhere, and a menu del dia, a 3-course lunch with wine, runs 10 to 14 euros in most cities. But housing in Madrid and Barcelona has gotten expensive in recent years, and local salaries can't keep up. Rooms in shared flats start around 450 to 600 euros per month in major cities, and you can expect to pay 1,500 euros or more for a furnished flat. Overall, the cost for a digital nomad in Spain living there short-term ranges from $2,000 to $5,000 per month. But if you migrate there long-term, you can cut your costs significantly. I have a full video dedicated to the cost of living in Spain that you can watch next on my channel. France is more expensive on the surface, especially Paris, but smaller cities such as Lyon, Bordeaux, and Montpellier are significantly more affordable than people assume. The average cost for a nomad in France is $3,500 per month, but you can qualify for visa in France with less than $2,000 in monthly income. Housing can also be affordable, with one-bedroom apartments in Toulouse going for $700 to $800 per month. Now, this next topic often determines whether a person is successful or not in their move abroad, and if they stay long-term or if they return to their home country after a few years. And that is, how easy is it really to make friends? One Spanish expat explains the difference between being liked by Spaniards and being friends with them. While people are friendly, it is honestly really hard to find local friends here. People have their tight-knit social circle, which is really difficult to get into. Even Spanish people from other cities often have problems connecting with locals. France has a similar dynamic, but the surface layer is colder, which means the disappointment hits differently. In Spain, you feel welcomed but not included. In France, you can feel unwelcome and not included, at least at first. But here's the flip side that often gets missed. French friendships, once formed, tend to be deeper and more durable. The intellectual and cultural communities, cooking groups, wine clubs, debate circles are genuine entry points that Spain's more spontaneous social culture doesn't really have an equivalent for. Both countries have active expat scenes, but both countries have challenges. Lots of foreigners and expats eventually leave, either back home to another country or to another city. Regardless of where you move, building a stable social life requires intentional effort. It doesn't happen on its own, but I've been fortunate to make friends in both France and Spain, and although I am fluent in Spanish, I hardly know any French, so it can be done. Imagine it's the peak of summer. You're in your apartment at 11 p.m. and it's 93 degrees outside and you don't have air conditioning. Another scenario, it's November and you haven't seen the sun in weeks. You're wearing a coat indoors because the heating is expensive. Neither of these is a deal breaker, but both are real. On Spain's climate, the verdict is in, it's hot. Areas like Seville have extremely hot and uncomfortable summers. Mid-June to mid-September are pretty much nonstop 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Even at night, temperatures are really, really uncomfortable. France is more temperate overall. Paris winters are gray and damp, but not brutal, whereas the south of France, Bordeaux, Lyon, Nice, offers a Mediterranean-adjacent climate without the extreme heat of the south and central parts of Spain. But the damp and windy coastlines can feel particularly frigid in winter. The question to ask yourself is, do you want sunshine as your baseline and are willing to deal with extreme heat, or do you want 4 distinct seasons? Climate matters because it affects your mood, energy, and how much you actually enjoy daily life. This next topic is particularly important to Americans in the best way possible. Think about the last time you avoided going to the doctor because of what it might cost, or the last time you looked at a prescription price and felt your stomach drop. Now imagine a life without worrying about health care. Both Spain and France have universal public health care. For Americans, this is genuinely life-changing, but the systems work differently. Spain's system assigns you a family doctor at your local health center, you book online, and they refer you to specialists as needed. There can be wait times, but it's free, and medication costs almost nothing. France's system is widely considered one of the best in the world. It's a reimbursement model where you pay up front, then get most of it back to a local account. For Americans used to the US system, both feel like living on a different planet. But if healthcare is a significant factor in your decision, and for many of my clients it is, France edges ahead. All right, here it is, the moment you've been waiting for. Drum roll, please. Where should you move, Spain or France? Well, I can't make that decision for you, but I hope that this video has gotten you one step closer to deciding where to go. On the next screen, I'm going to show a summary of both countries if you're still stuck, and if you've already decided, then let me know in the comments. But one thing I want to point out is to also listen to your intuition, because no matter how good a country looks on paper, it has to feel good as well. So if it feels like the right fit for you, even if it doesn't make perfect sense, then it could be for you. Before you move to either of these countries though, make sure to watch my Moving to Spain playlist right here, and also the best places to live in France. And if you'd like help from me and my team with your relocation abroad, then you can contact us by scanning this QR code right here, or by going to travelingwithkristin.com/relocation. And I'll see you in the next video.